Hello, Internet. I was reminded recently that I really like Simon Sinek's TED Talk on Start With Why. And what I like about it is its simplicity, its obvious nature, right? And you've been in so many situations after you've watched that, and you think, well, that makes perfect sense now. I've seen that and thought about it a bit more. And the concept, and there's this great picture that I found while I was kind of researching for this next piece of work that I'll show you. The concept is that you've got the why, which is really your purpose and beliefs. You've got your how, which is your value proposition, and the what, which is the proof of what you believe. And there's these concentric circles, the so-called golden circles that Simon will talk about in his book as well. But, most of us, when we talk about things, we talk about in the what and the how. We don't talk in the why. But our limbic brain, our subconscious, our gut feel, the thing that controls our behaviors and our reactions to things is really about the why. And we connect to it subconsciously in a level that's like, oh, I kind of understand now. So I started thinking about resilience and what does that mean for resilience? And is there a way of trying to describe resilience in a little bit more of a why way? Because I think what we tend to do is we get bogged down in detail. So it's like we do resilience because we need a business continuity plan because the regulators are going to do blah, blah, blah. Well, that could be true, right? But that's not very exciting. It's not very interesting. It doesn't really help the businesses understand why they need to be resilient and what it means to them, their business and their customers. Actually, everything that resilience is about, operational resilience is about making sure that we can help our customers, right? And we provide a better service for our customers, etc. So this picture, which will be in the post below, is what I came up with. So for the why, over here, there's a bunch of nice pictures. I drew this myself. You probably see my crayon drawings. This is a level up. This is an Apple Pencil on an iPad Pro, but still a similar level of age, of capabilities and skills, but I like it. So when you think about the why for resilience of a retail bank in this example here, so a deposit taker, we might call it in the UK from a regulatory perspective, someone who provides current accounts to businesses, small businesses or personal customers, or maybe issues cards, etc. But we need to help our customers survive, thrive, and flourish through disruption. So this is a resilience perspective on it. This isn't basically saying resilience is there to provide banking services to the client. We're really there to help our customers survive, thrive, and flourish through any disruption. From a how perspective, well, we need to really be customer centric. So think about the customer. The customer comes in this way. They have a needs and they wants. Why are we doing things from a bank perspective that might be different to the way a customer is thinking? So the bank needs to provide highly available platforms. I put that in inverted comma because that can mean a whole bunch of different things, supporting the customer's needs and their wants. What are we going to do? Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff here, right? And I've drawn some pretty pictures to outline what that means. But the first one is kind of culture, right, on this side. So we have the T-shirt, Resilience Rocks. I probably should be wearing one, but I haven't had them printed yet. Think about innovative outreach and training and awareness that you can put in place to be able to help colleagues within the organization and maybe our customers understand what it means to be resilient. Make a little computer game. Pew, pew. This is what this is. Asteroids for those that were born in the noughties, right? This is what we used to play, not on a phone, but on a really terrible TV, sometimes black and white, but it's still one of the best games ever made. But the culture of an organization, resilience culture, needs to be customer centric. Then there's some other things you probably need to think about doing. Do you need to have a unified operational hierarchy for your organization? Do you need to essentially operate the bank the way that you might try and recover it in the event of a disruptive event? Do you want to measure P&L the same way that you measure risk on the same object? Essentially, you measure risk, and the same object that you measure resilience. The same object you look at cost space, the same object you use to look at your workforce and your locations and the planning around that. Do you need to think about unifying your incident management processes and approach? Have a nice hub and spoke methodology, perhaps, where you've got a single incident management specialism in the middle and all the specialisms associated with incident recovery sat around it. So whether it's cyber or technology or business operations or comms or whoever it may be, do you need to have a single kind of essentially this is like a speedometer essentially of classification of incidents, going from nothing, my PC needs rebooting to we probably need to think about buying a new data center type incident. Do you need to think about your technology stack? A lot of banks, a lot of organizations generally have grown organically and they've grown quite quickly. And so that's left them with a legacy. as I mentioned in one of my previous blogs as well, legacy, ironically, it becomes legacy because it's so stable and all of a sudden it's out of support. But should we think about strategic technology stacks and do that at the same time as creating a resilience platform, which could be cloud adoption at scale with the right methodology? Looking at our change processes and release processes, how do we do that consistently in the same way so we're delivering change safely? Rate of change is only going to increase. It's not going to slow down, right? Whether it's change that we're putting in place for our business, whether it's regulatory change, whatever it may be, something needs to change on a regular basis, and we need to do it safely. We need to be able to do it predictably. And then the controls are wrapped around all of it. So we have to have the ability to measure how well we're doing or how badly we're doing. We need to make sure we're directing our attention in the right place. So that is my attempt at putting a one-pager, start with a why. I'm doing this in a kind of mirror, as you can probably guess, so that's why I keep moving it weirdly. Well, not a mirror, but a laptop which has a mirrored view on it. Please let me know your comments on that and your thoughts on that. Be interested to know, not necessarily on the quality of my diagrams, even though I think they're amazing. But if you do want an original, let me know and I'll have it printed out and signed. Maybe do a run of 10 or 20. But on the concept of how that's put together, be really interested in your thoughts on that and whether there's a different way of articulating the why in your industry, your sector, or why in retail banking. Anyway, speak soon. Thanks.